everyone and happy Monday. Wow, 23rd, it's my wedding anniversary and we have a Christmas tree to colour. Now this is from Johanna's Christmas, this isn't Johanna Basford's weekly planner, and it's the other side to one we did before. This one. It's a double page in the book. Now if I was doing this in the book as a double page, I would make the background match across both this pastel that I did, but I may not do that on this one. I might do something a bit different, but we'll just see what happens as it pans out really. Now I'm going to be using these pencils. Now I've been gifted these fairly recently, and they're quite interesting because I thought that they would be all the same colours as the polychromos, but they're not. Some are the same, some are slightly different, which is quite interesting. I've done a comparison chart, well not quite a comparison chart, just showing you what the nearest matches are between these and polychromos, and I've also done one with Prismacolor, and if you want any others, let me know. Now these don't have colour names either, they just have numbers, and they are their budget set, which I think is quite good. I'm going to start colouring while I'm nattering. I'm going to do the tree. Now I want a light colour for the base of my tree because I'm going to draw pine needles on it with a sharp pencil. So I'm a light base and then pine needles on top. So I'm going to use this 366 colour. Okay, and I'm just going to start colouring while I chatter to you. So these also have 5 metallic pencils in. I need to sharpen this, which we don't get in the polychromos. We get 3 metallics, and the gold and the copper, I think it is, are quite different to these. Now with the tree ornaments, we've got a little loop. Now I always assume that is the little hook that you hook over the branch, so I always think that we colour over it. That's how I tend to do it anyway, so I sort of ignore it, and it might disappear a little bit once we put our pine needles in. Now my plan is to do this base green, then colour all the ornaments and the decorations, and then put the pine needles on, because the pine needles might overlap the ornaments slightly. They may, and so I think it's better to do the ornaments first, and then if they overlap it looks a bit more natural. It means that I can have an excuse for not staying in the lines. And all that anyway. But this is far too light a colour for a tree, so if you don't want to draw on the pine needles, it's probably a bit late to say this now, but I would colour my tree a much darker colour, a sort of pine green type colour, cobalt green, deep, or juniper green, something darker, you know, and sort of more spruce and pine like. But as I say, this is going to evolve, so that's the idea of having this sort of light base, because I want it to look like it's got a mix of different coloured needles within the tree. We'll see how it all pans out later. So I've just finished all of my Christmas shopping this morning, which is rather good. It is what date is it today? The 11th of December. So I'm not as far ahead with planner as usual, but I've sort of decided that as I've now got videos made up until the 21st, I'm going to push on and just finish the planner and then fill in my gaps after for December, because the last week of December we have 2 planner pages. I think I tried to explain this before and I sounded like a rumbling idiot, but that's just because we've got the 2025 planner to do as well. So the last week, which is the 30th, so the next week is the 30th, we have the last page of this planner to do, but there's also the first page of the new planner that starts on the 30th. So yeah, we have a sort of double to do. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to release each because I don't know, but I'll work it all out at some point. But also in my new planner I haven't done the sort of title page picture, so I want to do that for you as well. So I'm just sort of thinking planner at the minute, get the planner bits done and then fill in all the gaps with a few more Christmassy pictures probably. I've done my morning videos. I've just done a new series for the morning, which will be running by now, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, be running by now. The gemstones from Magical Worlds. I absolutely loved making that page. It was so much fun. I did just hear talking. Both the boys are home talking to themselves or each other. Anyway, I sort of was a little bit worried about that page, to be honest, because, you know, all the gemstones. But I had a ball. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. So I hope that you are enjoying it as well. And or maybe you're not doing it, but, you know, I hope people who are doing it are enjoying it. Now, I often find with pages like this, we've got all these details that I'm not going right up to the edge very well, and I can't really see what I'm doing. So my plan is to not worry too much, as I never do, colour around all our items, and then once I've coloured the items, I can see where I've missed and I can go back over a little bit if I think I need to. I think it's usually the easiest way to do it. You know, I could get my magnifying glasses out and look really closely, but I find them a little bit difficult. They're okay, but because they have to sit so low on my nose, because I'm wearing my regular specs as well, it makes my nose hurt a little bit. It's just me, it's not, you know, just sharpening up again. Shows how these are reasonably soft pencils. Keep sharpening them. They sharpen well. I have done a review of them quite recently, actually, but I didn't sharpen them because you don't tend to when you first get them. But I've used them for something else. I can't remember what. Swatch charts, I think, really, but I haven't had to sharpen them yet until just then. And sharpens well. Apparently they've got some sort of protection on them to make them not break when they sharpen, which is good, and obviously seems to be working, at least for this particular colour, which is the only one I've tried. So we'll see if that continues. It's always a little bit tricky doing a sort of review, I say in quotes, of a set of pencils when they're new to you, because you don't really know. You know, you're just testing them out. It's just first impressions really, rather than review. But it just gives you guys a little idea of what to expect. It's really about showing you what the packaging's like, what you get for your money, what the colour range is like, that sort of thing. And these are very cheap, so they don't come open stock, which is always the case with the cheaper pencil. But I think these were about £12. I mean, I was very fortunately to be sent these as a gift. But I did have a look at them on Amazon, and I think they were about £12, which, you know, is a very good price for a set of 60 pencils. And Faber Castell as well, obviously a good name. These are their student slash kiddies brand range, I mean. But if you compare them now with Stedler, for example, their Norris are their kiddies range, and these are far superior, I would say. The Norris, although they have a nice range of colour, they are very, very hard, so it's quite difficult to get a good colour out of some of them. You know, they're just so hard. Whereas with these, I haven't found any that I struggle to get colour out of. Even the very lightest yellow was pretty vibrant, and It's just the white I haven't really played with, because, you know, some whites can be absolutely rubbish. So I don't know about the white, really. You can hear the pencil scraping on the paper. You can hear that it's a harder pencil. I like a harder pencil. It's not as hard as Crayola, for those of you who use those. Certainly not. You don't have to layer it up loads to get a bright colour. You can see that. I could come in a bit closer. I'm just looking up at the screen there. So that's nice. You know, it's a big area of green to colour, isn't it, on this particular picture? It takes quite some time. I had to think about this page before I made the video. I had a quick glance at the picture and went off and thought, oh, I know, I'll do the tinsel like this. And now I'm looking, there's no tinsel. You know, it's there's just all these little ornaments, baubles and things. I think what I'm going to do is stick to a colour scheme. I think it will be better, a palette, rather than going random. It will be quicker, for one thing. It'll make it easier to choose colours. But I think it will look nicer. You know, I always admire a Christmas tree that's got a specific theme / colour scheme. Mine doesn't. Mine's got memories. It's a different type of thing. You know, I look at these, I see a lot of reels and Instagram reels and things like that, and people are sort of decorating their sitting room and they've got everything matches. It's all the same colour or theme or whatever, and I'm thinking, my goodness, they must have gone out one year and just bought a whole load of decorations that matched, whereas our decorations get added to every so often with the one little thing. You know, we don't just go out and do the whole lot, and so it's sort of bit by bit, so we don't have that whole you know, matching thing going on. But it's okay. It's I think most people don't, to be honest. Maybe it's a UK thing though. As you look at people's Christmas trees, I used to love visiting relatives and looking at their Christmas trees. I remember my my aunt, she used to have a couple of particular figures on her Christmas tree that I really liked. She had they were sort of plastic, one was a plastic toy, and it looked like a sort of gnome. It had a long beard, you know, and then she had one that was a sort of soldier, a little figure. I remember those. And her angel, I remember her, it was huge like this, and it had a big flat skirt that went all the way around it. It was really interesting. Or maybe that was our old angel, I don't know. But I do remember giving my mum one of my dolls to be the angel, and she knitted some clothes. I don't know if she still uses that. I don't know what she puts on the top of her tree. I'll be able to find out on Christmas Day, because I'll be going there. But I can't remember. But she's moved her... My mum's changed how she's done her decorations, because there's going to be so many of us there. She decided that she would put the big tree in the conservatory. There's a bit more room. Right, colour scheme. Now, we could go traditional, we could go reds and yellows and greens, but there's enough green. We could do golds and silver. We could use all the metallics that we've got. We've got gold, silver, green, purple, blue. We could go gold and silver. We could go pink and purple just for something a little bit different, like lilacs and things. And I think I'm going to do that. That's what I fancy doing. Whoops. So I'm going to grab those colours. I need to find my swatch chart so I can just check. There it is. So I've got 337 and 341. And that one. Those are the main lilac-y colours, although 341 is quite bluish, but that will work. And then a couple of I don't know about pinks, maybe. Oh, I'm dithering now. I don't like that one. 334 and 3, those two. Is that those two? Yeah. So maybe 2 pinks, 2 purples. I'll put that blue away. So if you are following along, I'll just tell you the colours I have picked. I have picked 339 and 337 and 334 and 319. Okay, so I've got four pencils, pinks and purples. Right, let's start with the star. Now, I want a purple star. I think I'm going to do the centre with our darker 337. Maybe I will do like all the swags, I don't know what to call them, with one colour and all the ornaments with the other. Maybe that will work. Now what I am planning on doing eventually is using some glitter pen to make this really shine. So what I want to try and do here is make the centre of the star a bit lighter. But I'm making a bit of a mess, to be honest. There we go, not too bad. And then using the 339, I could show you the colour, it's so small, for the outside. So it's a lilac-y star. It does look a little bit plain, but once it's got some glitter on, it will look a bit more special. So yes, what I think I'm going to do is do all the swags with the purple and then all the ornaments with the pink. Or should I do it the other way around? I think I'm going to do it the other way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this light purple on all the ornaments and I'm just going to put it on. And I want it darker on the edges than on the middle, if I can. So going around the edge with more layers and less towards the middle. And then what I'm going to do with the darker colour, I'm going to pick out some of the details. Okay, and I think this is quite a quick way of doing it, and it will look more organised, shall we say, more unlike anybody's tree. Yeah, it's not a traditional, but I get a little bit bored of colouring everything red and gold. You know, I'm doing a red and gold next door, so I fancy doing something a bit different here. Now, if I was matching the other picture that I did, the other side of this, I would do red and gold because we've got so much red and gold in that one already, it would match. But I'm not trying to match that, so... But I suppose it doesn't have to match exactly, because this could be the room next door. It could have a slightly different arrangement with regards to colour, you know. So as I say, layer it up a bit on the edges and then a bit less towards the middle. Now, how long have I been so far? Yeah, my son said he needed my help in about half an hour. So I thought, well, I'll do a quick part of a video. But I want to get all the tree done really in this bit, and then we can do the presents and the details in another video. And I don't know how much time that will take. Smaller details take longer. Yeah, we have had quite a few detail pages just at the end of the year here when everyone's quite busy. But hopefully you've managed to fit it in. I know it can be a bit tricky to fit everything in. As I say, I finished my Christmas shopping today, which is good. I have wrapped some of it already. Not what I bought today, but not that organised. But I enjoy wrapping, so I shall do bit by bit. I've got to do seeing a friend on Monday, so I need to wrap her present, which I bought today. Couldn't get exactly what I wanted, but I found something that I think she'll like. I just wanted something a little bit more special, but I just couldn't find it in our town. There were a few places that I thought would definitely have them, but they didn't, so never mind. She's a very grateful person. She'll like what, you know. So that's all good. And got my son's present. He wanted a pillow, and we've got a shop that sells beds and things, so I picked up a pillow from there. It was the last one they had in that sort of soft one. The guy in the shop said he likes feather pillows, but he said, oh, a chiropractor would probably tell me that's the worst thing for my back, for my head, neck, you know, all that. But I don't know anything about it. I'm just going to, I've just noticed I haven't coloured in there. There we go. No, I don't know what they would say, but anyway, I said, well, as long as you have a good night's sleep, you know, that's all that matters really. He kept me talking. He was telling me about his where he lives in a sort of, he said it's like a sheltered housing. I think surely he's not old enough, but like a communal housing for older people. I mean, he didn't, yeah, I mean, you can go in those from the age of 55. And so he said they've got a communal laundry room, which is quite useful. And but he said he'd been having long showers, and then in his last place the water bill was included, and in this place it isn't. So so he suddenly had this big bill. But then he said now he's paying £17 a month for water, which we just had our bill, which was £175 for 6 months, which works out about, what, £30 a month, and there's 4 of us. I don't know why it's so cheap. I don't understand it. And I know that a dishwasher doesn't take much water, but we, you know, use our washing machine 4 or 5 times a week, and we shower daily, and the boys spend ages in the shower. So I just don't understand why it's so cheap. I think maybe we're being charged for the wrong persons. I'm sort of feeling like maybe I should phone them and check, or ask my neighbours if they're getting an extra high bill or something like that, because it just seems, yeah, it seems wrong. Now, if you're inclined to, you could do these ornaments in glitter pens. You know, they would look really pretty. I tend to like to just glitter at the end though. I just enjoy the use of pencil, you know, I enjoy using pencils. But you could make them really shiny. But as I say, I'll probably glitter over them at the end. And that won't be at the end of today's video, because now I'm going to go in with this one, the 337. I'm just going to sharpen it a bit. I'm going to do some of these details. I hope that you can see well enough. I'm trying to come in. I can chop the star off for now. So I'm going to do this line here, and I'm going to try and keep it a bit darker near the edge and lighter in the middle still. And the same with this one. Oh, excuse me. Got hiccups. It's just after lunch. I had a nice lunch with my boys. One of them came in at 10 to 12, and he sat down and had his lunch right away. He'd actually had a lunchbox because I'd made him one, and he didn't eat it because he got finished class early. So I'm not really explaining what I'm doing. I hope I'm just filling in little bits. This one I'm just going to go around the outside. My other son said he wasn't ready to come down for lunch yet, so he came down later and the other one disappeared, so I had sat with the other one, so I had 2 separate chats with separate sons. It's like caught up with what they're up to. And one of them is chilling a bit this afternoon. I don't know if he's going to do anything. He had a bit of a fraught morning. The other one is writing an essay, as I say, wants me to check it in a bit. So I will do that for him a bit later. There we go. Now this one I think I'll do the top. Maybe just a faint bit in there. Expecting my mum to call as well. She said she'd call me today, although I may call her. Sometimes she forgets, but also I might call her when it's convenient for me, if you know what I mean. But it might not be convenient for her, of course. She tends to go out for lunch a lot this time of year. Bit of shopping and then have lunch out. So she might not be back yet. But her and my dad, what did they went out yesterday and they had a curry. They were gonna, she say they were gonna go somewhere and they weren't serving food. That's right, they're gonna go to John Lewis and have lunch. They have a little cafe, restaurant-y thing. And they weren't serving food for some reason. They didn't know why. Just said they were sorry they couldn't do hot food that day. Whether they didn't have a chef or whether they had an electrical issue, I don't know. But anyway, so they went to a curry place on the way home. Apparently it's one of the best curry places in the area, and it's just around the corner from them, but I've never been to it. But I can't eat curry sadly anymore, so it is what it is. I make my own occasionally, but I'm never very keen on homemade. It's just never the same as traditional recipes that you get from curry restaurants, you know. But it is what it is. There's a lot of delicious food I can eat, so I just think I'm just grateful for that, really, you know. No, I might not be able to eat nice cream and cheese and things like that, but I can have delicious avocados and sweet potatoes and roast potatoes and all things, those sorts of things that I really like. So, and chocolate. My camera is behaving really weirdly. It's just put a picture of a person up and it says portrait. And now it's gone back and it says macro. I don't know what it's doing. This is 319, which is the light pink that I'm using. And again, I'm going to use this first over all of these decorations and then go over with the darker colour after. I'm going to sharpen this. Now I'm wondering what my camera's doing. Oh, look, I've sharpened the end off. My sharpener's really full. That's what's going on here. Oh, I'm trying to open it so that I can get that lead out, and it's spinning all over the desk. There we go. Gosh, that's a right mess. Oh well. I shall worry about that mess later. As my son would say, that's something for future self to worry about. So just filling in all these areas. They all look quite plain, don't they? But we will get them looking nice with a bit of... What I'm going to do is use my clear glitter pen. Now, I did see someone asking in a colouring group the other day about how you do that, how you get clear glitter without gel. And this is the number 700 Sakura gel pen, which you buy separately. It doesn't come in a pack. I think they come in 3s packs, but what I mean is it doesn't come in with other pens, different types of pens. And that is just like a glitter glue, a glitter glaze. So you can use any glitter glue, or some people use stickles, but I find stickles are okay, but they're very, very good actually, not just okay. They are very, very pretty, very nice, but they leave a big lump. So they're okay as long as you're not going to colour on the back or colour next to you. They're good for the planner, to be honest, because I could not, I could tuck this page away and not lean on it on the next one, so I could use it on here. But because you've got those rings, you can wind the pages away, sort of thing. So basically, if I took this page and tucked all the others behind and just leant straight on this, then it doesn't matter what's underneath it. I could just put a different book under it. So you can get away with it with pages that have got the ring bind. but in a normal book which is double-sided, it gets quite tricky. Right, now we want our final colour, which is the 334. This is a very similar colour to the 335 and the 333. I'm a little bit confused actually why. Just gonna, they put so many very similar colours into a pack that has so few colours, if you know what I mean. There are lots of these sort of purpley pink shades. I was a bit confused by that, but I often am with pencils, you know. Why don't castles have more reds? You know, questions. And that sort of thing. Some pencil sets just don't quite have what you would expect, but none of them are perfect, I have to say. If you said to me which is the perfect set, it could be very hard. Prismacolors, with regards to range of colours, are pretty good because they have pastels, they have neons, they have a couple of metallic, they have a really good range of different colours, they have good skin tones, they have good, a lot of greens, loads of blues as well, a reasonable purple range, not too many, but some nice pinks, but they don't have any sort of fuchsia pink, girly pink, Barbie pink is what maybe I'm trying to say. Those sorts of pinks very much, apart from the sort of neon. So, you know, it's still not completely perfect. Well, that would be a challenge, wouldn't it? Make your perfect set. I quite like using the Prismas and Polys together. It's quite tricky to find room on the desk, but when I can, I find it good. What I'm doing at the moment, actually, in another picture, I'm working in a Rita Berman book, her winter book, doing a picture of a snowman, Father Christmas, sorry, and I'm working with Prismacolor to start with, and then once I've finished all the main part of it, I might go in with some polychromos and just do some detailing, because you know, I feel that it would just enhance the picture a bit. Right, we are going in with a dark green to do some pine needles. So really, you just need a sharp pencil, which I can't do because my sharpener's full. I'll try. Yeah, actually I did it. And just draw them in. It's as simple as that. Don't make them too long or too short. It's trying to think about how they work in proportion to the size of the tree and the ornaments that you've got on it to get it working. Now you can do as many layers and as many different shades of green as you want. Obviously, the more you do, the longer it'll take, and it is up to you. And also, the more close together you do them, then maybe the less layers you need, but the less of the green underneath you'll see. The idea is, words, can't speak today. The idea is that you build up some layers, and then you get your tree looks like it's a little bit more bushy, and it looks a bit more realistic. I mean, realism isn't always my goal, but getting something that looks pretty, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a bit sad because my dancing programme ends this Saturday. It's exciting, it's the final, find out who wins. But, you know, there's a long wait until August for it to start again, which it gets me through the end of the summer though, knowing that it's coming, because what they do is in August they tell you who the competitors are because they start training, so they have to tell you because the press film them going into the training rooms and things, and so suddenly you know. So it's nice for them to tell you first so that it doesn't get leaked, sort of thing. And then the show sort of starts in September, it goes all the way through to December, so it's a lovely long period of time really. And then we have a Christmas special And then after Christmas, we have a couple of other shows that I watch. We have The Masked Singer, which I really like. I love doing the detective work, but I can never ever get it. I keep saying, should I write it down? You know, write the clues down, and then I might be better at it, and I never do. I think I really should sit there with a pad and a pen and actually write it down. I feel like a real nerd, but I think it will make, it might help me, because otherwise you forget the clues from week to week. Then we've also got Dancing on Ice, which is the skating program with Torval and Dean, and people train to ice skate, ice dance. They do training for a lot longer than the dancing program, because they have to learn to skate first, and they do things like lifts on the ice. It's just mad. I don't know why they do lifts. They do lifts in every routine normally, and unless because the men do the lifting, obviously. If the celebrities are male, they don't do lifts to start with, because they have to be able to be trusted, and its safety is important. But that one's okay. I'm not so keen on it, but it sort of gives me something to watch. And with that one, it's only one night, so it's just a Sunday evening, and that's it. Whereas with the dancing show, it's on every single day, so it creates quite a big hole, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure I can find some colouring to fill that space. And I do colour anyway on weeknights when it's on. I'm colouring while I'm watching anyway, and it's only when it's on the Saturday night and the Sunday results show that I actually sit down and properly watch it. But of course, if you're a fan of it, you'll know who's won, because this video go out a long time after the results have been announced. But I've been voting for various people through the series. You get free online votes, and my favourites have sort of changed. Some of them have been knocked out, as often happens. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what people decide to do. Because in the final, there are 4 couples. 3 of them have had some previous dance experience, not in that style of dance. One of them has got a degree in modern dance, I think it is, like street dance. I'm going to use this really dark one now. This is 365. I'm going to start at the bottom and work up, because I'm neater at the top. So probably because I just sharpened, which I need to do. One of them has got sort of musical theatre background. One of them, his wife is a professional dancer, and they've appeared on a dance show before. And they're a pop singer, so they do like the sort of pop star type dancing, which isn't really proper. Well, I mean, it's proper dancing, but it's not. It doesn't give you much experience. But the other contestant is blind. He's never danced, and he is amazing. He's the most improved, because he started off with 0 basically, and I think he's going to win, even though he's not the best, because I think people are voting for him because they have such admiration for his... A lot of people say he's very brave, and I don't know if he thinks he's brave. I think he didn't want to... I think he couldn't work out how it was going to work, but his professional has figured out a way to teach him. And I think one of the main reasons he isn't as good as the others is because he can't watch the others. And because each week, let's say, one does a waltz, one does a tango, one does a paso doble, they watch each other's dancing, so they get an idea of what those dances are supposed to look like. And of course they may watch professionals do their dances too. He can't do that. He's got no idea. So he has to just go on what he's told, and I think that's amazing. And he says he's doing it to show that the blind people can just do things, which I think is amazing, to represent that community and to do that. I'm sure a lot of people are very grateful to him for doing that, whether they themselves are blind or they know people who are or whatever. You know. Oh, I just heard a huge bang. Hang on. No, everyone seems fine. It probably am next door. Anyway, so it's all good. I'm enjoying those things. It's nice escapism in a happy, jolly way. I mean, some people say they don't like watching the dancing because the moves are too exaggerated and they think it looks a bit silly. Other people say they don't want to watch people prancing around, and that's all. I can understand that, but I enjoy watching the dancing, so that's me. But also just the whole fact that it's a happy, positive show. Although it's a competition, everyone's nice to each other, really. There is one judge that's a bit harsh, but it's pantomime, he says. You know, he is a nice person, really. He's just got this reputation for being quite stern and strict, and it's fine. And I've noticed that he's very careful. So if he's judging someone that is sensitive, he is kinder than someone who can take a bit of criticism, you know, and I think that's important too. And in some shows the judges are just really nasty. Like, I won't watch anything with Simon Cowell in, because I think not only is he unnecessarily nasty, I think they bring in people who aren't good on purpose so they can laugh at them, and that is not something that I like at all. So I won't watch any of those sorts of things. X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, those things, I just can't. I just don't like it. Right, we have been going on for quite some time, and I'm aware that my son is going to need some help, so I'm going to make that do for today's video, because I'm aware that I need to go and help him. So I'm not finished with the tree. There's a lot more that I want to do with it. More pine needles and more glitter and all sorts of things. But I need to sharpen my pencils, my sharpener's full. I need to go and help my son. So I will be back for more on this page tomorrow. But thank you for watching today. Hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.